Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video, what we're going to discuss is why my view of XRP is that it is coiled up for a large move up. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you appreciate the content. Drop a comment and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell notification icon. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Tradingview. You can even find me on Instagram at CryptoBullGod. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm providing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others. We're all big boys and big girls, so we can make our own personal financial decisions. With that being said, let's get into it. Now, what I actually want to start off with here is a relativity chart to Bitcoin. This is something that probably looks very familiar to a lot of you. This is the XRPBTC on the monthly, okay? Now, the nice thing to see is that there was consolidation in this range, right? It was sort of like a triangular formation, and we kept testing these areas here, right, of descending resistance, and we finally broke through. So it's nice to see at this point in the cycle that we're beginning to see some strength in XRP relative to Bitcoin. So really, what am I targeting here? Well, quite frankly, what could happen, which would still remain bullish, is for us to come down to this level of support or even this level of support, which would still be higher lows, right? And we would still be getting higher highs if, which I believe we're going to begin to challenge some of the areas more up here, which would essentially double, okay? It'd be about 1.5 to 2x of the XRP-BTC relativity from where we currently stand. You can see I have some resistance around the 0.46 and the 0.34. I think there's about 4 zeros in there, but I think you catch the drift. We're at about 0.2277 right now. So we're looking at about a 1.5 to 2x from current levels. So good to see. Okay, before we get into the USD charts, it's good to see that there is strength building in XRP relative to Bitcoin, okay, from a price appreciation standpoint. Now, the first chart that I want to take a look at on the USD pairing is the daily chart. And this is really where I begin to I've been evaluating the chart and I've seen from my perspective the price coiling up, okay? And we do have a technical target here. So this essentially what I'm showing here, apologies, what I'm essentially showing here is a flagpole up, okay? And then consolidation in here within a pennant, okay? It's basically a bull pennant is what it is. I have a technical target drawn right around an area of resistance, which is at 76.5 cents. Let's just simplify it and say 75 cents. So based on this technical target in the intermediate time frame, I am expecting, okay, because I am also anticipating that the rest of the market's going to remain bullish going into the end of the year. I'm anticipating Bitcoin to hit, or excuse me, for XRP to hit a price of at least 50% of where it's at. It's around 50 cents. I'm expecting it to at least go up to 50 cents. Now, what could we actually see? We know that this asset, along with many other assets within the crypto space, are very volatile, right? So we could actually shoot up in price. We could shoot up to some of these higher areas of around 94, 90 cents, maybe even the psychological level of $1, and wick up there before coming back to retrace, which would still be bullish because we'd be getting higher highs coming in here and higher lows, okay, relative to down here, okay? So that would still be bullish. But really, ideally, what you want to see on the daily time frame, okay, what you want to see are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. You want to see the higher highs and you want to see the higher lows come in. So how could we actually accomplish this? Well, we could get a move up to here, consolidate down here, come up to here, consolidate down to here, come up to here, consolidate down to here, and so on and so forth, right? So we have to remain patient, but this to me looks like some coiled up price action right now with a lot of other charts looking not with this same setup, but there's a lot of other charts that are coiled up as well. XRP, again, looks, based on the daily here, looks coiled up to hit a price level of around, and perhaps more, of 50% higher from its current USD price, from 50 all the way up to, say, 75 cents, okay? Now, let's take a look at the weekly. What is encouraging on the weekly is, although, and this actually is expressing greater strength relative to Bitcoin, on the weekly, we're actually starting to, actually might have similar strength. I'll take that back. But essentially what happened was you never like to see price go below a moving average. Once price goes below a moving average, it acts as what? Resistance. Okay, if we're above the price, okay, if we're above the, the moving average, it acts as support, right? Support. But once we break below, it's resistance. Now we can't get above, right? But it's good to see, even though we had this dramatic fall in price on the weekly below the 200 simple moving average, which is the pink line, it's good to see that there's a lot of price consolidation up here that's been hitting the moving average. The more we hit resistance, what happens? It weakens, okay? So there's a higher likelihood that we've been up here for several weeks that this is going to break and we're going to move up. There's also a descending area of resistance, which we'll take a closer look at on the monthly, that I think is on the brink of breaking. So with that being said, actually we're going to take a look at it on the monthly. So with that being said, let's get into the monthly. This is the last USD chart. You want to pay attention to this view because it's very important to keep in mind what I'm about to say, okay? We have retested this descending line of resistance multiple times, and now we're pressing up against it. My full anticipation here is that we will be breaking out in the shorter to midterm here, okay? Now, when we break out, okay, and you really might need to see this on a smaller time frame, such as the weekly, but when we break out, don't be surprised to see price come back and back test the descending area of prior resistance, which is now support. One of the most bullish things that could happen, okay? And we saw this on Quant, which I did a video on last week. One of the most bullish things that you can see for price action once it breaks descending resistance is when we come up, we back test that same area as support and continue moving up. So don't be surprised by that, okay? Now, what about the price indicators on the monthly? This is looking extremely encouraging, okay? Stochastic RSI on the monthly is above 20 and it's positive. You see the blue is above the orange. The R side is a very healthy level. It's not oversold. It's not overbought. 50-51 is a very healthy level, okay? The MACD, I love it. I love looking at this MACD. If you're an XRP a holder and believer in the token appreciating a lot in value, this is what you want to see on the MACD after a major downturn. This is beautiful. Look at this thing just flattening out right now. In my opinion, we are going to get across in the coming months, which will be massive for price, because anytime we've seen a big cross on the MACD in the past, look at this price appreciation. Look at this price appreciation, okay? So I fully anticipate the MACD being one of those big indicators, okay, on the monthly macro higher time frame scale, that once it does cross, we're going to continue seeing bullish momentum upwards going into next year, when we will create new all-time highs above our prior cyclical all-time high way back in 2017-18 at 350, 380, depending on your exchange. I do believe we're going to break those all-time highs. But what I would keep an eye on now, okay, and bringing it back to the thumbnail, we are coiled up for a massive move up, okay? Keep an eye on all these time frames, okay? All these charts. But keep in mind that for the daily, okay, we have this shorter term intermediate target of around 75, 76 cents, okay? This is our first target. And I have other targets drawn here around $1.35, 94 cents, $1, 90 cents. Once we start to break out above 75 to 76 cents, I can post a video and we can talk about other areas of resistance as we move up. But let's take this in baby steps here and be patient with the price as it continues to show signs that we have bottomed, okay? This is basically a double bottom, and we've continued moving up, and now we're consolidating for another move up, okay? I hope that you appreciated the content. If you did, give a thumbs up, drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, $1 on CryptoBullGod and his crypto maniacs and the entire crypto